Hey, Queens. So today we're going to be talking about a longer topic. So grab a coffee, a drink, whatever, or watch this video whenever you have time. It might be a little longer. It might be more of a chit chat. And we're going to talk about the hot tea in the coaching industry. But of course, there's a purpose and a takeaway for you. Like, of course, we're gonna talk about the tea and the recent scandals in YouTube, how to navigate. We're gonna talk about how to navigate the coaching industry, important things you need to know about the coaching industry, and and just, a guide for you to be an informed consumer of the information you see in YouTube and from coaches like myself and others. Okay? So, disclaimer, I'm totally out of breath because I'm, almost 9 months pregnant. So, you're out of breath and it's hard to it's hard to talk forever. That and also it's freaking warm in here. It's like 30 something degrees. And I had to turn the fans off because of the recording. So, bear with me. So anyway, how did this topic get started? Why did I think about making a video? Well, you guys wanted to know, but it all started with one of you lovely queens in the comments saying, I wonder what you would think about this guy, Orion, Orion psychology or Orion, whatever. She's like, I wonder what your thoughts about what he teaches are. Well, that's a simple one. This guy tells women to give free sex to men and fuck all the men they meet, or else they will disqualify themselves from the meat market, from the dating market. So here's a big thing. He has a book coming up that talks about, I don't remember very well the title or exactly what, but it was something like staying relevant in the dating marketplace or sexual marketplace, something like that. So he he's targeting like his audience is people who want to fuck, kind of like people who want to have boyfriends, girlfriends, people who are not dating for marriage to begin with. So obviously his advice is going to be geared towards women who don't want to get married. I believe the guy is chronically single himself. I'm not sure, but that's so far what I know, or kind of know. I don't really know. He doesn't appear to be married with children or anything like that. But correct me if I'm wrong, please. But so obviously here what we talk about in this channel is dating for marriage for women who are ready to get married and who are done wasting time. So naturally, we would have very different audiences. Look at his audience, 500,000 people. Look at this audience, right? We have like a mini audience because it's a small group of people overall that are looking to get married and are done wasting time and they don't want to do the whole used and abused thing anymore or whatever. There's that. But the biggest kicker here, the big kicker here is that this guy is a psychologist. And we're going to get into this. Because I think the girl in the comments was saying, well, he's a psychologist, so a lot of people would because I said something like, who the fuck would listen to a guy like that? And she's like, well, he's a psychologist. So naturally people are going to respect his opinion. And the proof is in the pudding. He has 500,000 followers. And then let's talk about another example. There's a girl, a psychologist girl. She's Middle Eastern. She's very cute, very good looking. And she's a psychologist, and she has 500,000 or more subscribers. So it's the same story. She herself is chronically single, and she's the type that will give free sex to men. Or wait, in her own words, she's in a committed relationship. As we know, part of the real pandemic today is um, the low standards of women that, you know, they just kind of lower the entire um, you know, dating marketplace, if you want to call it that. But again, the kicker is that she is a psychologist and she has half a million YouTube subscribers. So a lot of people are inclined to listen to that. But here's the big thing that I want you to understand and know. The coaching industry is the coaching industry. The coaching industry is not an industry where you will receive therapy, where you will receive insight on the impacts that your behavior has in your mental health or the impact of different aspects of life on your mental health. Okay? So there's no therapy, there's no psychiatry, there's no prescriptions. The coaching industry is not like a professional set of people industry, or you know the coaching industry is mainly comprised of people that offer their life experience as a service, as mentorship and coaching, and or coaching. Okay, there's a couple of differences there between those two things. So there was a girl, because I went ahead and made a poll and asked, do you believe in the coaching industry? And somebody replied, so long they have credentials, I do. And I said, honey or sweetheart, the coaching industry is not like the psychologist, or I don't know, lawyers or medical professionals. There's no therapy being offered, or like surgery or legal advice or any of that. The coaching industry is primarily offering empirical knowledge. It means information that is not typically found in formal education. Like, for example, did you ever find rotational dating in university? Can you take a degree on that? Can you take a course on that? No. Okay. Because a lot of the things that we talk about in coaching are nuanced views and experiences in life. There's empirical knowledge. Okay. So, for example, the stuff that I teach here are things that were observed and experienced over many, many generations in my family, in my culture. So obviously, you will never find this in a university. The stuff we teach here is fucking priceless. Yeah, it is. Because if you didn't have a mother to teach you uh, basic social skills, and again, do you get social skills training in university? No, you don't. You might learn uh, sociology or what else, or what social studies, but they're not teaching you social skills. Like, don't be rude to strangers or just things. Okay? So, what we teach in the coaching industry is empiric knowledge that is not necessarily formal knowledge, and that you can't just go to a formal university and get it for the most. Example. I'm going to give you a couple examples of coaches that I've had. When I when I was growing up for many years, I was a competitive swimmer. Okay. Eventually, competed in Pan American Games, all these things. So I was part of a Mexican team and played, or not played, or swam competitively and semi-professionally. Okay. So I had a coach. I had a swimming coach, like personal, and I had a coach for the team that I was part of, the Mexican team. These coaches are not like, they don't have a degree in like swimming. They don't have a degree in like sports. They don't have a degree in kinesiology. None of that shit. These coaches were professional athletes themselves, and they were, highly accomplished in their field, in the swimming field back in the day. So no university would teach you how to be a professional athlete and a champion, a winner in the field. Okay, so a coach is telling you that, his experience, his life experience. Alrighty? Now, for business, I've bought courses from money coaches. And I'm not looking, oh, does he have a degree in finance? I have a degree in finance. And and before I was in the coaching industry, I had a very, very successful as an expert in corporate credit risk. hmm So, you know, kind of like as qualified as it gets when it comes to a lot of financial topics. So obviously, and there's also like, well, go to a bank and get a financial advisor. No, this is an employee. So, no, when I hire a money coach, or when I buy the course of a money coach, it's from an entrepreneur that has been highly successful, and he has receipts or whatever. Okay. So, so a coach will typically, well, obviously the good ones, will have the life experience to go with what they're teaching. Of course, you've seen like the really the really fat personal trainer at the gym. You've seen a personal trainer that is completely out of shape. You've seen that. You've also seen, for example, I have a coach in mind. She's 25 years old and she's a dating coach. She's never been married. She's chronically single and teaches women how to date. Go figure. So, logic and common sense would tell you, well, duh. Like, do you do you want to hear what a person has to say if they've never been married or any of that when it comes to dating advice? That's for you to decide who you take advice from. So going back to the topic, um, these YouTubers like Orion and like the other girl, the Middle Eastern girl that are psychologists, they are teaching stuff that is, I mean, you be the judge. You be the judge, right? So if you want advice on how to give free sex to men, go watch them, right? They Orion, he says a couple of things that are um intelligent sometimes, but overall, like he's telling you to fuck men for free. That kind of stuff, right? So to each their own. Anyway, so the coaching industry does not offer therapy or psychological um treatment, nothing like that. What it does is like once you are mentally healthy, like if you are mentally fit and like without illnesses and lead a normal life, a fairly successful life where you are ready to go to the next step in a particular field. So for example, say you're a girl, but you're a freaking wreck. Okay, you are really bad with money, you're broke, you don't have a career, you're out of shape, you have a lot of like problems in your life. And one of your problems is that you're chronically single and you're here in this channel wanting to find love, wanting to find a husband. You would hire a coach, myself or whoever it is, once you get your life somewhat together. Now, I do teach you how to develop your masculine energy if you're missing that. Like, for example, if you have a very chaotic life, you need masculine energy within you. So I do teach some of that, but obviously, if you're kind of chaotic, if your life is kind of chaotic, you won't be able to afford a coach. So let's talk about affordability of a coach. So a coach is not a psychologist, a coach is not a lawyer, none of that. Coach is not a doctor. We sell our personal experience and a methodology for you to achieve the goal that you're looking for. Okay? A methodology that has had success in my life, in clients' life, so on, so on. Right? So if you have a chaotic life, typically you won't be able to afford a coach. So in a way, a coach is a bit of a luxury. It's a bit of a luxury like service, if you will. Um, because we don't charge by the hour or any of that. So there's transformations that you go through. There's a lot of growth you go through. So anyway, keep that in mind. And the reason why I am mentioning this is one of the coaches that in YouTube that has gone under the fire recently. So, and again, one of the reasons why I'm making this video is because a lot of the subscribers in our channel here, a lot of the viewers of my channel here are also the viewers of this one coach uh, in YouTube that had a major blow up and scandal. Okay. She basically was exposed um, for pathologically lying and plagiarism and a lot of things. Kind of like a crappy version of the Jay Shetty scandal. So a lot of the complaints women there had were that she charges a lot for her coaching and her courses and things. The answer is very simple. If you cannot afford what a coach is charging, please don't please don't buy it. If you don't have money, like actual cash to pay for it, don't buy it. Don't live beyond your means, okay? That's like a basic piece of information. If something is too expensive for you, don't freaking buy it. Save for it or just turn around and don't buy it, okay? Because her services and all the services of the people in the industry are again, they're a bit of a luxury to a degree. They're not like, oh, I'm gonna go to therapy and I pay them like, I don't know, $200 per hour. I don't know, whatever it is. It's not the same service, it's nothing like that. So if the prices don't resonate with you, they're not affordable to you, turn around and don't buy any of that. What else? So let's get to the tea. I guess I guess there's not a whole lot of tea per se because all the tea is in the forums. You know what forums I'm talking about? All the tea is there in that regard. And what I want to say to you is coaching and coaches on YouTube are are meant to be someone where who you resonate with. Someone whom really speaks to you to the depths of you, to the core of you, to kind of like someone who really activates you and really like makes you think and is thought provoking for you and makes you critically think. So if you don't resonate with a YouTube personality or coach or whatever it is, you don't have to be there. All you have to do is click out, like click off, whatever. So with this coach that that had all these unsatisfied customers. I don't know if that's the case. Unsatisfied customers. I don't really know. I think there was one live event that she did where she taught nothing, it had no substance. Okay, like I can totally get that. But when they're saying like, oh, her courses like didn't give me results. Imagine me saying like, oh, I hired my swimming coach and I didn't win. Like, or my money coach, or the courses that I bought. Hey, I didn't become millionaire. I shouldn't buy your stuff. Like, if this is your take, your attitude, it's best that you don't ever buy a course or hire a coach, because a coach will tell you the methodology that you are to utilize and give you all the tools to set you up for success. But the coach is not swimming for you. The coach is not on Tinder, on the dating apps, like dating for you. Number one. Number two, like obviously it's you doing the work. The coach is a guidance. And if you don't think a guidance is worth it, then don't buy it. Okay. But if you're able to really integrate and like I'm just freaking dying of heat stroke here. Um, if you can integrate everything you've been taught, and that's easier said than done. To embody something, to integrate something, that's a whole journey, that's a whole trip in itself. If you're able to embody and integrate and truly become what you're being taught, you will benefit from hiring a coach. If you do the work, if you do your homework, all of that stuff, then you will benefit from having a coach. So, not everybody that is in YouTube is a coach. Orion, he's not a coach. Well, as far as I know, I don't see any coaching services in his thing. I may be wrong. Please let me know. I mean, it doesn't matter, but as far as I know, he's not a coach. Um, the girl from the Middle East, she's recently kind of trying to become that a coach when she normally offered like therapy, right? So the guide for you to consume this information is, if you resonate with this coach, if he or she speaks to you at a soul level, at I don't know, yeah, at a soul level, and you think, you know what? All that stuff makes so much sense to me, and you like this person and you see their life as, or their results as desirable, then go for it. So yeah, I wanted to put that out there, kind of like the correct way of looking at YouTube personality. um yeah, so like don't confuse a YouTube personality with a coach. Also, don't confuse a therapist with a coach, right? Know who needs whom. Like if you are having issues performing in basic areas of your life, you very likely need therapy. Kind of like life is affecting the results of your life and your mental health and your behavior, you need therapy. If you have your life somewhat together and you're mentally fit, you're ready to go to the next step, to something more uh high performance, if you will, like being happily married. You can't be happily married if you I was gonna say if you're mentally ill. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's the same as if you were with a guy that is mentally ill. Do you think you're going to be happily married? No, because he's not there for himself. He doesn't have that capacity. Will he have the capacity to be there for you and your family? So it's the same thing with you. If you have a mental disorder, you need to get better first. Of course, you can be married, but like your your husband is going to deal with stuff that it's not normal. It's politically incorrect of me to say that, but it's the truth. If you don't agree with that, bye. I don't care. Um, yeah, guys. So the tea with the coach in YouTube. So another thing I wanted to mention, the coaching industry is a ginormous, like huge, huge industry, massive, like billions and billions of dollars worth of industry. But only maybe like 1% are in YouTube for several reasons. So there's a massive world out there full of coaches. And let me tell you, and here's maybe a little bit of tea on me, how it all started. I'm gonna try to make it short. Really and truly, I was a non-believer before I was in the industry. I did not know that it was a real thing, that it was, yeah, like a real thing, like a serious, like successful thing. Um, for many years, I got told you should be a coach. You should be a coach, right? Because ended up being like pretty much a coach anyway in the corporate world, right? Because I don't know, a lot of women gravitated to me. I was one of the only females that was like happily married and just those things, right? So I got told enough times to be a coach because I was like, yeah, no, like, no, like I have a real job, right? A real job. And this is one of the things that they keep saying in the forum about the coach with the scandal is like, why can't these women get a real job? And it's like, girl, yeah, you don't know anything. So I had a corporate job and I thought, no, I have a really good job, like a cushy, fancy, high-paying job. Why would I want to do that? And lo and behold, once I started to delve into it, I was like, oh, wow, like, wow. And let me tell you, the first time I stepped in a corporate office, I was like, where the fuck am I? Where the fuck am I? Like, I do not belong here. Like, at a soul level, I thought I don't belong here. Just literally at a soul level. Okay. And I was very successful, all that crap, right? But I never quite belonged. And that's the main reason why I I in the end I stepped out of it because it wasn't just fulfilling at a soul level, okay? So when I started to find all these coaches and see what they were about, I was like, wow, I am blown away. Like, I was never more impressed. I was never more blown away by the freedom, by the really by the freedom of spirit and just people truly fulfilling their dreams to the highest levels you can imagine. And truly, truly cool people, like the coolest people I've met in my entire life. And I mean, again, I've lived in many, for different countries and done a lot of things in my life. But literally, the coolest people I've seen, I guess maybe other than some celebrities and things, were in the coaching industry. Just really people that were incredibly admirable and just really agents of change, and not only agents of change, but just people who inspire you to be free and live a free life. So knowing such or coming to the existence of such role models, it, yeah, it was so inspiring to me that I thought, fuck my, like cushy, like couple or multiple six-figure corporate job. Like, no, fuck that. Like, what am I doing here? Right? So it was definitely more of a soul resonance and things to be in the coaching industry. So there's that, right? So that's kind of all I have to say to you. Like, if you don't, the reason why I'm saying is that they're calling this lady, this coach, a scammer. I guess the fact that she lied a lot about her life and lied about pretty much everything she talks about, I guess you can say, okay, she's a scammer. But when they criticize her courses and things, it's like, well, if you don't like her, if you don't resonate with her, just turn around and leave. Why do you have to come up with such a hate narrative, right? And I guess haters exist for a reason. They just exist. And they're like I don't know, whatever. So, yeah, let me know if you learned anything new in this video. I wish I could tell you more gossip, but not only is it like super low vibe, it's super low vibe, and that's not really what we're about. Like, I want you to be in these channels and be an informed consumer, and you are knowing about what the different things that are offered, are there, so that you don't end up one day like, oh my God, I was scammed, like, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or like these gurus. Let's talk about gurus. So none of us, none of us are a fucking guru, okay? None of the coaches out there, no one, none of us. Nor do we claim to be. I myself, I'll just tell you, look, I have this life experience and these results. If you would like that, and whatever it is I'm telling you makes sense to you, you're welcome. Welcome to my world. Welcome to learning from what I have to say, right? And literally that's it. We're freaking human beings. None of us are perfect. Um, you know, so if you like it, that's great. If you don't, nobody's forcing you to be here. right? So I'm not a fucking guru. None of the coaches out there are a fucking guru in any way, shape, or form. Because part of the things that they bitch in the forum is like, oh, these gurus. I'm like, these feminine energy gurus. I'm not a fucking guru, and they're not either. They're not. They're fucking human beings. If you like what they have to say, great, stay. If you don't like what I have to say or what they have to say, just turn around and leave. That's all you do. If you were looking for more drama and more like wanting to hate, well, that's up to you. Some people spend their life creating something out of something. Some people spend their life bitching and moaning and hating. You be who you want to be. So, anyway, too much ranting, and sorry that you didn't get any new gossip. So, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.